I had to let that little new pup out to do her business before I come out here to Quigley. But I like to look around to make sure that there's not a buck standing out in the field before I come out with her. And I looked out and there were 2 deer on the hillside over here to the south of the home, and couldn't make out quite what they were. It was still too dark. So I come to the front door, and just opened the front door and looked out. Coyotes started howling up here on this hill, on the big hill. So I turned around and I hot-footed it over to the back door and looked out again, and those 2 deer had those tails up in the air, and they got out of the field. So it might be a little while before anything comes back with them blasted coyotes running around the hall. Right now, I gotta Fort Quigley is all froze up, so I gotta do all the windows. Big old full moon still shining. Just finished cleaning off the frost off my windows and turned my little buddy heater on. Cold out here this morning. It's definitely cold out here this morning. It's 30 degrees when I left the house. Quickly all froze up. But I did get my first deer yesterday. It was a small buck. I had a hard time talking myself into shooting that small buck, but what I really wanted this year was the hides and the meat, not the horns. Because like I said, Diane said we got enough horns. If you're going to make buckskin, you need to look for the better deer to make buckskin out of. And small bucks make, in my opinion anyway, much more preferable hide to make buckskin out of. So anyway, I got it with my flintlock, shot it with my Kibler. So I got my Kibler all cleaned up. I brought it back out here again. I'm going to load it up and have it here ready in case another buck gives me a shot right here. So we'll get that rascal loaded up. Get me 80 grains of 3F. That dumped down the tube. Next comes my wad of tow. There's an over the powder wad. over top of that. A good wad of grease. And now, need my hatching. Get that lubed up real good. Them daggum coyotes, a pack of them hollering around. I think they kind of set the deer back a little bit. Open. Okay. I got the windows all cleaned. My muzzleloader loaded up. And my 7mm Ruger #1 laying here on the shooting bench. So now I'm ready to settle in, enjoy a little bit of coffee while we wait on the deer to show up, possibly after all them blasted coyotes hollering around. As you can see, the sun is working its way down the mountain toward the Quigley. From the time the sun hits the top of that ridge up there, the top of the field, it takes it 1 hour and 20 minutes to get down here to the Quigley. And on a cold morning like this, it seems like a mighty long 1 hour and 20 minutes. Because once the sun actually hits the Quigley, all this glass around it starts to warm up considerable. If I can find those over here. bucks. There's three deer come out in the field there right now. Minor solar period just started, and there were small bucks chasing doe over here on the South Ridge, and right now there's just, I think, just two does. They're out just feeding along. That's odd. I mean, nothing this morning. The coyotes was hollering early this morning, and the deer left the fields. And I hadn't seen anything until the solar period started, which is at 8:30. And all right on clockwork, boom. Out come several deer, and chasing started. The does over there is acting right skittish. Need to keep a good eye out on her. Instead of just calmly feeding her, starting to act right skittish. Those two does over there on the South Hill that been feeding along, they just got chased off by a young buck, looked like probably a 4-pointer. Couldn't tell for sure. Kind of hard to see through that sun. The sun is shining through the little bit of fog's left, and it's really hard to see over that direction. But anyway, another buck chased off doe. Goodness. The windows are covered up in dew, not frost. So I gotta scrape enough off where I can see what's going on out here. Like, this deer season had been entirely different to any season that I've experienced past 25 years out here at the farm. Like I said in an earlier video, no doubt what has happened is a hunter has moved in very close, and he no doubt has done a very good job of attracting the deer. Probably food plots and whatever, but anyway, because he's killed 2 really good bucks, and I haven't seen a good buck. And I don't even see the does that I normally see or anything else. The deer most of the deer that's kind of hung out around here at the farm, they vacated, pretty much vacated. I think they found greener pastures. So if that's going to be the norm from here on, for a while, then I might have to. I don't do anything to really attract a deer. I mean, I put in a little food plot the last couple of years, but that's the only thing I've ever done. And I haven't really done anything. I don't keep, minerals or anything else out. I put salt out for the cattle, but I don't do anything to really attract a deer because the way the farm is situated, it's just in and of itself, it's just a good attractor with the field surrounded by deep woods and all that, you know, but we don't have a heavy deer population at all. And so it wouldn't take a whole lot for somebody to, in a close by vicinity, to attract your deer over to their place. And I believe that's exactly what's happened. But that's okay. I mean, I've still seen several small bucks, but does, you'd think, you know, this year, my emphasis is on trying to get skins together for buckskin and good meat as far as eating goes. So, and this year, I've already gotten one small buck, and I'm going to get another one and try to get 3 does before the season's over, and that and a few skins from friends, that'll give me all the deer hides and the meat that I need. So. But if a big buck comes by while I'm here, I mean, I'll take him, of course, but if a smaller one comes by in flintlock range, I'm going to take him to flintlock. Absolutely. I'd rather have a smaller buck with this flintlock as I would a big buck with Ruger number 1 7mm mag. So anyway, it's dead as a hammer this morning, but I'm going to keep watching for a while. Coyote. Well, I just missed that coyote. The time I got on him, took the shot, he was probably 320, 25 yards out there, and I shot at him with that 7mm mag, which he was within range of that, but I missed him, I reckon, because he ran off. Yeah. But he was in the woods and partially screened by brush, so I don't know if it was a flat out miss or just hit brush or what. Anyway, he got away. And that's the third daggum coyote that I've shot at. Of course, I got the other two, but it's just deer season started. Darn coyotes are everywhere. And the other morning, like I said, there was a couple of deer over here in the field, in one field, and coyotes started yelling right at daylight. Over here in the other one, and then deer stuck those tails in the air and away they went. They were a good ways from those coyotes, but man, they sure responded to them. One buck, one coyote. That's the tally so far this morning. Gracious day. Whew. It feels good to sit down. I left Quigley early this morning. My nephew came out. He had killed a big buck yesterday. He brought it out here and we skinned it last night. And he come back this morning and I went over and I cut it up for him. And then I took the hide from that buck and I fleshed it out. Just finished fleshing it out. And put it in a hydrated lime bath to start loosening up the hair on it. And I had the buck that I had killed. I finished de-hairing it, dry scraping it. I dry scraped it. Both the membrane on the hair and the membrane on the inside and the outside. And I really, I worked my hind end off dry scraping that. And I'm doing this bigger buck with the hydrated lime, and going to compare the two techniques, see which one I like. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to like the loosening that hair up, and then taking the membrane off when the hide is soaked, when it's really wet. I think that's the way I'm going to prefer to do it. But we're going to see. But anyway, 2 deer have completely fleshed one. Finished dry scraping the outside, the hair and the membrane on the outside, the skin side or the hair side, and then took the membrane off the flesh side, and then I strung it. I punched my holes around the edge, and I roped it into a frame and got it hanging out to dry. And then got all the fat and meat and everything off of that big buck hide. Got him soaking in lime, so I'm tired. That's a lot of work for when you get as old as I am. That's a lot of cotton picking work. So I come out here, I got about 30 more minutes of light. So I'm gonna sit out here and quickly hope a deer don't come by. I have to really wonder about me. Why on earth would a man my age, 81 years old, with a back that's giving him a fit, back problems at 81 years old. Why in the world did I decide that I wanted to make a bunch of buckskins? Good Lord, that's a lot of work. I set a goal and we'll try to make about a dozen buckskins. And that's a lot of cotton picking work. Hey, oh, Mosey. Oh, somebody might need to send me to the psychiatrist and have me psychoalkalized. That's all I know. That woman of mine, she said, you don't need to be doing all that. I think she might be right. I was so tired and achy that I stopped by Sprite Springs down here to see the old frontiersman and see if he had made up a fresh batch of Sprite. Yeah, he was all excited about this new drink that he'd come up with. And he said, boy, you need to try this. You need to try this. He calls it Canada Dry Ginger Ale and Lemonade. I think he needs to stick with Sprite. Yeah, Lordy. Stuff can't hold a candle, Sprite. Back out for another morning. Of the siege of Fort Quigley here. On deer siege. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is housekeeping. You have to take care of all the casualties every morning when I come out here until it gets really cold. There's quite a few casualties here at the fort. Houseflies and ladybugs have given their life to Quigley. Fort Quigley, and their service to Fort Quigley. So I gotta sweep up the casualty first and then now I gotta squeegee off all the windows because they are dew all over. Dew on the windows, can't see anything, so I gotta get all that cleaned up. Gotta do all that. Then we'll get us a cup of coffee and settle in, see what we can find. Let's fire up the buddy heater. Take the chill off a little bit this morning. Just taking a bit of the chill off. Well, I reckon we'll just settle in for a wait and see. Enjoy a little bit of coffee while we wait and see what the fields might offer this morning. There is absolutely nothing moving anywhere this morning. The crows, the birds, the squirrels, nothing moving. But the solar period, the major solar period, ended this morning at 5 o'clock. That's an hour and a half before daylight. So I didn't really expect to see much in the way of movement this morning, and I sure haven't. But there's a minor period, starts at 10 or 9:45. No, 10:45 to 11:15. Let's see when that is. Let's see. 10:45 to 10:45 to 12:15. So that's a good possibility something be moving then, because there was no early morning movement at all. That isn't daylight. I mean, way up in the wee hours of the morning, they may have been moving around, but when it comes to, shooting hours, hunting hours, There's no solar period in the early morning at all. So, if there's most likely, if there's going to be any movement at all during daylight hours today, there's a good possibility that it'll be between in that 10:45 to 11 or 12:15 time period. Or there is a major solar period that starts this afternoon. What time was it? Thing started at 2:30 to 5:30. But that could bode well for late afternoon hunt. And like I said, a study that I saw several years ago on hunters and what percentage of hunters hunt in the morning, what percentage of hunters hunt in the afternoon, and what their success ratio is. Well, there are more afternoon hunters than there are morning hunters, which was surprising to me, but another thing that's a little bit surprising is their percentage of success. The percentage of success of the afternoon hunters is higher than the morning hunters. Something like 30%. There's about 15 or 20% more people hunt in the afternoons than the morning, and the percentage of success is about 30% higher than the morning hunters. But the real kicker is only 3% of the hunters hunt midday or hunt all day. Only 3% of all hunters hunt all day or hunt during the middle of the day. But their percentage of success is 300% higher than the afternoon hunters, and their percentage of success is about 30% higher than the morning hunters. And I've literally shot as many or more bucks in that midday, 10 to 2 or 10 to 9 to 1, 10 to 2, somewhere in that vicinity. Late morning, early afternoon, midday, middle of the day. And I've certainly shot a lot of bucks during that time. And some of my best bucks have been shot during those hours, when most hunters are back at camp or back to hunt. So anyway, I did. I got up early anyway and went to bed late last night because I had worked my hind end off fleshing out hides and dehairing hides and stretching them to start the process of making buckskin. In the last couple of days I've worked my hind end off. And I've done more work on hides than I have hunting. Anyway, tired, really tired. Don't sleep, can't sleep. You're tired, you don't sleep good, and then get up early. So I'm very sleepy. So guess what I'm going to do? Guess what I'm going to do? You see this thing here held up in place? Thinking I've got my wood runner laying on. Guess what that is? That's a bed. It folds down. Let me move my shooting bench out of the way. I roll my shooting bench over here to the other side. Move everything out of the way like my turkey calls. Diane's candles. I'll put them down here. They'll be out of the way. And then I'll move my wood runner stand him up over here in the corner. The two lashes up. Let my bed down there. So I'm going to lay down here and take me a nap. All the comforts of home. Yeah, take me a nap now. When that cylinder period comes on, I'll be wide awake. See you in a little while. Nothing like a good nap. I'm going to lay down here and take me a nap. All the comforts of home. Yeah, take me a nap now. When that cylinder period comes on, I'll be wide awake. Nothing like a good nap. First deer I've seen all day. Decent little buck. If he'd come by the Quigley here, I'd sure pot shoot at him with the flintlock. He's out there about, 120 yards maybe. About 120 yards from me. Here you go. that pretty 6-pointer. And those three does came by, and in just a minute, here came that 6-pointer following. Guess what? Sowing period just started too. Haven't seen a thing all morning. Sowing period starts and 3 does and a decent buck. If that buck had come within flintlock range, I'd have sure shot at him, but I didn't. I didn't want to take him with the .6 or the 7mm. I got them both ready here, and I could easily got him with either one of those, but he was a little bit far for the flintlock, so it's early in the season. Got plenty of time to get my next buck. I got to about January the 5th, actually. What is today? I don't even know what day is. What is today anyway? It's the 19th. 19th of November. I got a month and a half. I got a month and a half to get that next buck, so I'm not in any hurry. I'll just put on some water. Make me a pot of hot chocolate. I'm going to sit on it, sip around on it, see what else the sowing period might bring. That great blue heron just coming up the creek in the little swamp right below the Quigley. First saw its head moving. Long down there, I couldn't figure out what it was. So, well, what is that? It was just below that bank there. I didn't know what it was. Sipping on that hot chocolate, watching the great blue heron. Those little fellas are some wary rascals. Let me get up on him a little bit closer. Now that's the way to still hunt. That's the way I move through the woods. Those things are master still hunters. Look at the balance. That's amazing. If you want to learn how to still hunt, right there is a textbook. Textbook still hunter. Feel the forest floor with your foot before you step down to make sure there's no stick or something there. Transfer your weight to that leg, then pick up the other one. Stop and look around. Even look behind you. Well, that, my friend, textbook still hunting. That one buck. 3 does, that's all I've seen. 5 turkeys and a great blue heron and a fox squirrel. That heron, I should have had the camera on him. I took it off. And I could tell he was frozen. He was just frozen. He's up here on the ground, on dry ground, you know, above the creek, 10, 15 feet above the creek. He was frozen. Boy, all of a sudden he took a cautious step forward. Bam! He got him a big old mole. I mean, a big old black mole. Turned that head up. The mole's gone. Huh. I didn't know that they would eat moles. By golly, he did. He got him a good breakfast this morning. He surely did. Well, I'm back. For the late afternoon hunt, which also has a major solar period attached to it. So we'll see. There was a little bit of movement at that mid-morning hunt or solar period, so I don't know about this afternoon, how much there'll be this afternoon or not. I don't know. But anyway, I'm out here to wait out the last hour and a half or so of daylight here. We'll see. I don't know if the camera picks it up or not, but there's a generator running in the background where I've got a battery charger hooked on my van. For some reason or other, it won't start. Possibly a fuel pump in the tank, possibly. Anyway, a good friend and a super mechanic, Mr. Jamie, is coming out here after he gets off work to check it out. It's always good to have a great mechanic as a friend. He's a great mechanic. Gracious day, my eyes are burning like crazy. I need to put some drops in it. Anyhow, let's just sit around a while. See what all we might come up with here. It's just I don't know, 30 minutes or so, if that, of daylight left. And I haven't seen anything late this afternoon. Didn't see anything early this morning. Didn't see anything so far this afternoon. The only activity that I saw at all was that one buck that come chasing those 3 does, and that was during the middle of the day at the solar period, the midday solar period. So when I didn't see anything this morning, and did see a little bit of movement during the middle of the day, I didn't really expect to see much of anything this afternoon. That's kind of the pattern that follows, but you hunt when you can, you know. And you never know. I mean, you never know what a buck's going to do or when he's going to do it. But I just talked to a friend, just got off the phone with a friend that has a property up in a county to the north of us here a ways, and it's one of those counties that's a earn a buck county. In order for you to legally shoot a buck, you had to shoot a doe. That's how many deer they normally got. This county here is not that way, not by a long shot. The county as a whole here it's one of the least densely populated counties with deer. But anyway, he said on his farm at first that the deer are nowhere near their normal pattern. So he said he's not seeing the deer, just not seeing deer, period. They're not in their normal patterns at all. And he's not the only one that I've talked to, and the consensus among them seems to be that Hurricane Helene, with all the damage it's done, has changed the deer patterns. Could be. I mean, I certainly had enough damage here at my place. And the deer pattern of movement here they're topsy-turvy what they used to be. But the only people that I know that the deer are still in their normal patterns on their pieces of property were the people who manage their properties for deer. In other words, they work year-round, making their place attractive to deer. I mean, that's what they do. I don't do that. This has always been a horse farm up until a few years ago. And when I got out of the horse business, and it's been a farming, a cattle farm. So this farm has been primarily livestock, cattle, horses. The deer have been incidental. The main attractor to the deer, for the deer on this place, is the clover that's out in the pastures. The farm here's got deep woods on 3 sides of it. Deep woods, I mean deep woods go for miles back through there. And the farm just kind of juts back into the woods. And so just by the way it lays and the fact that you've got clover and grasses out here, it's been a bit of an attractor to deer. But until last year, I didn't do anything at all to try to increase the deer or make the place more desirable to deer. I put down a little food plot last year, and I swear it was of dubious value because I'd sit right here and watch the deer feed on the clover that's growing around the edge of the food plot. They didn't even hardly get in the food plot. And I have seen a few deer in the food plot this year, but not any more than you've seen out here in the field. But I haven't seen much of anything anywhere. So anyway, everybody that don't go to extremes to attract and hold deer, everybody that I talk to, the patterns of the deer on their places dramatically changed. Well, it certainly has here. But whatever. But normally, I shoot 2 good bucks a year off this place. But I had to put in my time. I utilized the entire 5 weeks of muzzleloader season and 2 weeks of gun season, regular gun season. That's 7 weeks that's darn near two solid months of deer hunting. And now those 7 weeks, I just keep watching and boom, all of a sudden up comes a decent buck you never seen before. They're out cruising around looking for does. I'll give it a few more minutes. I also started to sprinkle rain a few minutes ago. It's quit now, I think. Anyway. I'll keep a watch for a few more minutes, then call today, which is Wednesday. We're halfway through the first week of a 2-week gun season. We're halfway through it today. And I have taken 1 small buck shot with a flintlock. So let's just keep an eye out, see what the future might bring. It's getting very late in the day. It's starting to rain. Fog is moving in. And I got to get out of here and get back to the house before I see a big buck. If I see a big buck, I'll shoot him, and I don't really want to do that. Not under these conditions. I'll take my buck when I got better conditions to work him up in. And Lord have mercy, let me get out of here before I see a buck and shoot him.